Do you want to know how to be an ace? To be the best pilot in the sky? To fly better, gooder, bestester? Do you want to do this in a plane? Step number 1, open up Origin. Find your game. Click uninstall. You've come to the wrong place because this is Battlefield 5 and you turn like a turtle floating into outer space.
Today is time for science. Poopy Pie becomes a scientist. So we're gonna show you some results from these semi-garbage planes. Show you what turns the best, what plane has the fastest climb rate, if you want to use Nitro, how you want to turn, what plane is best versus what plane, all these little things. And this will help you to, I guess, kind of fine tune your loadouts too. So now you can have like a variant for dogfighting and a variant for blowing stuff up. So I'm going to show you guys the loadouts I use with each result. I have some recommendations for what you guys should use. I would kind of go off of this. Unless you're not a good dogfighter, then you might want to just go with like purely fastest turn Nitro. If you are a good one, then you're probably not going to want to use that. So let's check out some of the numbers. So first test we're going to go through is going to be Spitfire VB, and upgrade means wing upgrade versus BF109 G6 upgrade with Nitro. The ones I'm going to use with Nitro are going to be highlighted, and you'll see like on the screen cap when they're using them. And those are going versus a non-wing upgraded variant of each plane. So it's going to go in order. So top left is the fastest, bottom right's the slowest. The thing that stinks is if you pick the top left one, which is definitely the best at turning, you're just going to have nothing to shoot stuff with, essentially. You're just going to be like a dogfighter, but with like sort of crappy bullets. But if you're like trying to learn, I'd probably go with that. Go with that top left one if you're learning. If you're good, probably the bottom left one. That way you get the really, really cheap machine guns where you can just blast people in the face and they're dead. If you're on the German side, top right one's okay, I guess. I wouldn't really pick like exactly any of these loadouts, but this is just, if you pick this kind of loadout, which is like wing upgrade versus non-wing upgrade, that's kind of the results you'll get versus each other. And it's not like dramatic, so after like a minute, the fastest plane might be only like a half turn ahead if you're both doing the same exact loop. All these times you see here, they're based off of 60 frames per second time base. So in other words, 8.5 seconds would be 8.3 in this setup, because that would be 60 frames per second. So every second there's 60 frames. So in order to be half of that, you'd have to be at 8.3, which is 30 frames. Kind of get that. So next up, we got the wing upgrade Spitfire versus a wing upgrade BF109. And these are doing horizontal turns. I did a couple tests with horizontal turns. And so everyone except for the bottom left one is the same plane, same loadout. But the only difference is one's doing rudder towards, one's doing no rudder at all, and one's doing a reverse rudder, which in this case would be just pointing the rudder up. And I think the bottom left one is just like a non-rudder one too. But here you can see like how much of a difference it makes if you rudder with your turn versus if you rudder against your turn. And this also might change when you're going up or down. I didn't do like a test for that, but I'm pretty sure if you rudder towards while going up, that's going to make it turn faster. But that makes me think that if you turn down while reverse ruddering, that's probably going to be a faster descent. Just don't ask me, ask dice, okay? But check out how much faster that top left one is horizontally. It's a pretty big difference. Like that reverse rudder one is just, it's terrible. It just slows you down so much. And I also don't know like how it affects the size of your loops. I didn't get a chance to test that, but I'm thinking that it doesn't make you turn tighter, even though it slows you down. Kind of like BF1 would do. I don't think it's exactly like that. Next up, we got the wing upgrades on the Spitfire and both BF109s, and then included a non-upgrade wing Spitfire. And I think this one's horizontals. So these are all ruddering towards, and this way you can see like a non-upgraded Spitfire, and then some upgraded BF-109s, what they look like. And this one's got, so the top left one and the top right one, we have Nitro. So this is a little bit off because I kind of just copy and pasted each Nitro burst. But you'll see like the VA Nitro versus a VB wing, it should keep up. Like if you have that Nitro and you're like consistently using that, but it might affect like your loop size. So you kind of keep that in mind. So even though you're doing like the same turn amount, it may or may not be good for what you're trying to do, which is what I'm kind of trying to say, dummy. All right, Spitfire wing upgrade, Spitfire Nitro, BF-109 stock. So the only one with the wing upgrade is the VB on the top left and top right. This one's just to show like vertical versus horizontal. So in other words, think of it like blueberry versus non-blueberry. Because most random just they'll turn horizontally and probably not even rudder. But here you can see like how much of a difference that's gonna make if like somebody doesn't have a wing upgrade and you have a wing upgrade and you're doing like a vertical loop into theirs, or like a high yo-yo into their loop. They're not gonna be happy, okay? Because you climb, and also the way that wing upgrade Spitfire climbs, it climbs a lot faster than it turns horizontally. So like your high yo-yos will really be more pronounced in the VB wing upgrade. So essentially, you get diced, and it's like, isn't this the opposite of what reality is? But whatever, who cares? It's dice we're talking about here. Because you'd think it would be the other way around, like historically, but maybe not. Maybe it's just dice in the IRL. The rest of them are just gonna be kind of random ones. You can check these out. You can tell which plane is what because the G6 has the kind of camo on it. The G2 has the non-camo thingy, and then one of the, I think the VA has the really pointy tips, and the other one doesn't, but I might be wrong. But just to give you some context. So, what does all this garbage mean? What is the point of this? Why do this? I don't know, because I'm bored. I'm a dummy. Here's where this comes into play. So, so you take this info and you use it like if you're a good dogfighter or you're not. If you're a good dogfighter, you don't need any wing upgrades. If you're not, you need all the wing upgrades and Nitro. Just take it all. Take it all, run home, unpack it, poop on it, because you're gonna need it, dummy. Okay? You need to get gooder. So essentially, you could use those spots to use a different perk or specialization, whatever you call them. Even if you're decent, really, you don't need the wing upgrade stuff. Like, they make a difference, but it's not enormous. The biggest thing is gonna be like, if you turn vertically with a VB, a Spitfire VB wing upgrade versus like a BF-109 stock, then there's gonna be a huge difference. If you do that like half loop climbing up vertically, you're definitely gonna notice it. But other than that, you're probably not gonna notice anything, especially since most of the loops in this, like, you're gonna meet and have a head-on and just get blasted in the face. And the thing is, these loops is like you have more of a time of a head-on too. So if you have a better weapon, you could honestly just like counter that faster loop time from the other person by just like, I don't know, rocketing them in the face or something stupid and dicey. If you're going up like against, let's say like alternate universe you, the same skill level, I just don't think any of the wing upgrades are gonna be worth it. So there it is. There's the numbers. Do what you want with them. I know that I fixed all my loadouts, so I have like exactly what I want to do in mind. Essentially, like, I'm just going for Spitfire Dogfighter, Spitfire Tank Killer, and then BF-109 Dogfighter, and then BF-109, I don't know, plane killer with the rockets, I guess? I don't know, they both suck. Well, if anybody's still flying, this should help you a little bit. This might help the more advanced people. Alright guys, if you want to check out what my loadouts are, follow me on Twitch. I sometimes fly still, especially on really crappy maps. There's a couple really crappy maps in this game, let's be honest. Some of them you're like, I gotta fly. Like Hamada, I gotta fly on Hamada. Because it's just like, dude, I don't feel like, I would rather physically run the amount of meters in the game versus like hold W. Let me know if you guys have any questions, need any help, leave a comment and I'll completely ignore it. No, I won't, I'll answer it. All right, later guys.